Today we will describe a whole by the number of equal parts. Hey, welcome back to learning about fractions. Today we're going to be completing wholes and learning how to count by halves, thirds, and fourths. So what I want you to do right now is up here I have a fraction, and I want you to think about whether or not this is a whole. You're right, it's not. This is a part of a whole, and the part that it is 1/2. So watch me complete my whole by adding another part. I've simply just added another half. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole. Say it with me. 2 halves make 1 whole. All right, let's take a look at another part. Up here on my board I have 1/3 and another 1/3. Now when we're talking about thirds, we know that there needs to be 3 equal parts in order to be a whole. So let's count and see how many thirds I have, and then think about what do I need to add to make this a whole. So I have 1/3, 2/3, I need 1 more third. So watch as I complete my whole. 3/3. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. If I have 3/3, that means I have 1 whole. 3/3 makes 1 whole. Let's do one more example just to make sure we got it. Up here on my board, I have a part of a whole, and as you can see, we are working with fourths. So I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. What do I need in order to make this a whole? That's right, I need 1 more fourth. Watch me complete my whole. There we go, we did it. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1 more fourth equals 1 whole. 4/4 makes 1 whole. Okay, so now that we've worked with learning how to complete our wholes, right now we're going to look at how to compare them and decide how many pieces are in each whole and comparing the sizes of those pieces. So I have our 3 different circles up here that we looked at earlier. Our first one is our halves, and this circle is partitioned into halves, which means there are 1, 2 pieces. Our next circle is partitioned into 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3. So thirds have 3 pieces to make a whole. And our last circle over here has 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4 equal shares, because fourths are partitioned into 4 equal shares. So just by looking at these numbers, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, and 4 pieces, which circle has the most number of equal parts? The halves, the thirds, or the fourths? What circle has the most number of parts? That's right, the fourths have the most pieces because it takes 4 pieces to make a whole when we're talking about fourths. Now let's look at the different sizes of our parts. Now I want you to look at the different sizes of these parts. Our halves, our thirds, and our fourths. So if I were to take one part of each one of these circles, and I want to just compare these right here. We got a half, a third, and a fourth. Which piece or which part is the smallest? Which part is the smallest? The half, the third, or the fourth? Very good. The fourth is the smallest. 1/4 is the smallest because the more parts there are, the smaller the pieces get. Which circle or which fraction up here is the largest? What part is the largest? 1/2, 1/3 or 1/4? That's right, the half. 1/2 is the largest because it's only partitioned into 2 pieces.